r/the10thDentist. Holmes says, hard drives are superior to solid state drives. You might think that this is idiotic, but there are real reasons. 1. Reliability. Hard drives are much more reliable than SSDs due to the fact that they have a longer lifespan. You see 30-year-old HDDs, but never a 10-year-old SSD. 2. Cost. HDDs are much cheaper than SSDs, no matter what. 3. No read-write limits. Hard drives don't have RW limits but SSDs do. 4. Large amounts of storage. You can easily find a 8TB HDD on Amazon, but 8TB SSDs are extremely rare and quite expensive. 5. Compatibility with older OSes. Windows XP on an SSD shortens its lifespan, and Windows 2000 and below doesn't even work. 6. Noise. HDDs have that nice sound, but it's gone on SSDs. The only advantage SSDs have is speed, which isn't that big a pro when considering the pros of HDDs. Too long. Didn't read. HDDs are better than SSDs, mostly with reliability. Garcia Work says, I really miss all of the extra time I had while waiting for my computer to boot up on an HDD. Digital Faki says, water the plants, catch up with the extended family on the rotary phone, ready the letters sent by pen pals from a different country, sort out the balance book, and then look at the court monitor to see the progress bar is just done halfway. Good old days. Garcia Work says, oh, and defragging, that is always a joy. Boblub Chippymate says, floppy disks are superior to DVDs. You might think that this is idiotic, but there are real reasons. Durability. Floppy disks can handle more abuse than a fragile DVD. DVDs scratch easily, rendering them useless, while a floppy's got that protective casing. Cost. Floppies are dirt cheap compared to DVDs. You can score a whole box of floppies for the price of a single blank DVD. Reusability. Forget about limited rewrites on those WDVDs. Floppy disks let you reformat and rewrite to your heart's content. Nostalgia factor. You can't beat the iconic clickware of a floppy disk drive. DVDs lack that retro charm and satisfying mechanical feel. RetroOS compatibility. Trying to run Windows 95 from a DVD. Good luck. Milliseconds. DOS was the era of the floppy, and they work seamlessly with those classic systems. The only advantage DVDs have is storage space, but who needs multiple gigs when you have the cloud? Too long. Didn't read. Floppy disks are better than DVDs, especially when it comes to durability and that old school tech feel. r/the10thDentist. Alan Alachip says, negative motivation is better than positive motivation. Ever since I was a kid, when people would positively motivate me, like you can do this, you go this man, keep going. You're doing great. I'd always get super angry or snap at people for saying that, even now at 20 years old, cause I know they are just lying to me, or just trying to make me feel better, and it always would mess me up mentally. For example, when I was wrestling in high school during practice sparring match with someone, the entire team was cheering me on, and for some reason I got really I'm mad and yelled, shut the frick up, stop doing that. And everybody just shut up, and I felt so much better after. I prefer people to negatively motivate me because it makes me want to try harder and prove people wrong and gets me in the zone. That's why now, when I play games with my friends, they always talk shut to me because they know it'll make me try harder and do better at what I'm doing as opposed to positive motivation. Takanenahanakozan says, kid name toxicity. Perexxism says, FR it reads like a movie villain, I hate kindness. Minidal says, there's a mental consequence of never receiving affirmation. Curlimachacha says, It sounds like you don't know how to cope with positivity lol. Foreign P2296 says, "Cause I know they're just lying to me or just trying to make me feel better and it always would mess me up mentally." Man, this mess you up mentally because you're already messed up and can't take positive motivation positively. I think you'd appreciate yourself too much, so positive motivation goes against your feeling and create cognitive dissonance which makes you feel bad and makes you create even more reasons why you can't do it or that you don't got it. While negative motivation help you because it seems to echoes with your own thoughts and doesn't create additional mental overload. In all logic, basic positive and negative motivation are both as useful/useless. They are just here to show you that people are with you without adding any new information. So you shouldn't be more bothered by one or another because they bring the same amount of data, none. That you find that one type of motivation resonate better with you is okay, but here it reveal another side of your personality that you should try to change. Being too extreme in one way, extreme enough to get mad and yell shut the frick up top people cheering you, isn't good. r/the10thDentist. Darkness is fleeting says, "Sound quality in TV shows is no worse now than it was in the past. I'm 31 years old and I'm on oddity amongst millennials because I don't watch TV with subtitles. When looking up why this is, I got loads of stuff about how modern TV shows have worse audio quality. When I asked my subtitles using friends, they said the same thing. I really don't think this is true. I don't find modern shows, with the exception of exactly one line in Breaking Bad, that I couldn't understand, harder to hear than old shows. If anything it's the other way round, but I don't struggle to hear old TV shows. I don't know why people my age need subtitles. It might be because we are just used to them, it could be attention span, and it could be that somehow we have worse hearing. I don't think it's the last one. Most of my friends have, in the last 10 years, started needing subtitles when they didn't before." Kevin Firth says, "The issue isn't audio quality, it's the sound mixing." Loud Puppy says, "That and that modern TVs have smaller speakers, there's quite a few people that don't add a soundbar." -15T says, "I studied music technology and there's a whole philosophy with music to mix to what the audience will listen on. Most people listen to music on a car radio or earbuds, so you want your final mix to sound good on those. I feel like this doesn't happen as much in gaming, TV, and certainly not in movies. It feels like everything is mixed to the assumption that you have a subwoofer or a 5.1 system at home. Added a soundbar a couple of years ago, the low-end clarity makes a massive difference to hearing everything that's going on." Saturn Boink says, "The volume fluctuations are what makes me use subtitles. Super low dialogue and insane music or action volume." Select Credit 6108 says, "As film and television technology has progressed, there's been less need for actors to project their voices distinctly and loudly, as whatever mix are nearby will pick up the smallest sound. It's not that audio quality or really sound mixing has gotten worse, it's actors not enunciating or saying their lines for the audience to hear it well enough. There are a few video essays on this phenomenon." r/the10thDentist. Chijunsev says, "Going to college campuses as a non-student is a great way to meet women. Hey guys, so I have a buddy who attends college but doesn't have a car. Typically, I have to pick him up and his slow ass takes forever to meet up with me if we are going clubbing. It typically takes an hour if he says he'll be there in 5 minutes, at least it feels like it. However, sometimes, I'd hit up women waiting for him. Weirdly enough, campuses are far superior to bars, nightclubs, or any venue for meeting women. The students are typically bored studying and open to being approached by a stranger. Anything to get away from their work for a few minutes. For example, my ex-girlfriend was a mechanical engineer I met at the science building. IDK the actual name, but it was engineers of different fields. Was I a student? No. It was Friday and my friend was studying and told me he'd be done soon. I spent 20 to 30 minutes talking to her, then snagged her number. We dated for roughly 6 to 8 months before breaking up. An Multiclist says, I mean, you're a Tony. It's not usually something people look fondly upon, but if you own it, and it works for you, good for you. You're not acting like you have a right to be there, or showing up with no reason, which is good. There's nothing objectively wrong with what you're doing, and you're far from the first. Chijunsev says, what's the Tony? Multiclist says, exactly what you described, somebody who lives locally to a college and doesn't attend, but engages socially with students. Mraspidericidum says, nervous to ask how old you are, op. Norcalathlete says, he had some pretty old people in some of my college classes. Particularly community college. But even at university several of my classmates were pivoting in their careers, plus there's the master's/PhD students. Plenty of people in their 30s and 40s who are legit students. A couple people I met were in their 60s. Edit after reading other comments, I probably should have checked Op's profile first. This definitely fits a theme. Pixie says, doesn't matter, that's the beauty of it. I get older, they stay the same age. I forgive. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.